Hello, welcome to How to Succeed in Business During a Pandemic. Hi, I'm Wendy Lally, your host, and I am so delighted that you could join us today because we have a really interesting program, and I know it's going to appeal to those of you who have your own business and perhaps are thinking of making some changes in that business. What we're going to be doing today is visiting with two ladies who have their own business, have had it for several years, and made a transition in 2020 to shift the focus of that business to something a little bit different, a little bit wider. The business I'm talking about, the name of their business was Creative Idea Web Design. And in the course of serving their clients, they discovered they needed a little bit more service, and they have now become Creative Idea Digital Solutions. So we're going to talk to them and find out how they did it. And I'd like to introduce you to them right now. This is Tracie Scyrus, who is the founder and CEO of the business, and her partner and supportive sister, Deborah Johnson, who's the vice president of sales. So ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, thank you for having us.
You're welcome. What I do, I know these ladies because I am a copywriter and a marketing strategist, and we have actually been working together. And when I found out how they transitioned their business, I thought they were a natural fit for this show, which is all about resilience, making changes, figuring out ways to not only survive during this pandemic, but actually thrive. So almost upon meeting them, I said, you've got to come on my show. So this is the show. Welcome, Tracie and Deborah. I'm really delighted that you're here. And I can't wait for you to tell people about yourself and also about Creative Idea Digital Solutions. Let's start by telling them a little bit about your background. Tracie, why don't we start with you?
Okay, thank you, Wendy, for having us on too, by the way. So I started my career in accounting many years ago, believe it or not, and decided to move to marketing because for me it was a better fit. As I was in marketing, it was mainly the traditional style of marketing, flyers, brochures, what have you. But I saw that digital marketing, marketing online, websites, it was on the cusp of just blowing up. So I took it upon myself to learn how to code, build websites, HTML, CSS, and what have you. And I really, really enjoyed it. So that's how I started Creative Idea Web Design. I wanted to build websites for small to mid-sized companies that didn't necessarily have, a large budget to hire a large agency. But I just really saw it as a great benefit to them, and I really have enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you. Deborah, how about you? Would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my background and experience is quite different from Tracie's. I started out in nursing. I was a critical care nurse for a long time, and at one point I wanted to make a career change, and I had the opportunity to get into pharmaceutical sales. I became a sales professional and did that job, a very rewarding position for about 26 years. I partnered with physicians and nurses, hospitals to improve patient care and outcomes. And it was a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. In 2020, I decided, okay, I'm going to retire. It didn't take me long, Wendy, to decide that I didn't like the role of retiree. So I started to look at some different things, and Tracie approached me and asked me to become a partner in her company. And I thought, why not? This is my opportunity for my third career. So I joined her team, and I'm very, very excited about the opportunity. I can share my sales experience and expertise and hopefully continue to help businesses grow their businesses and reach the goals that they want to reach.
one of the questions I was going to ask you was what industries that your agency particularly serves. And I think that background in healthcare is absolutely incredibly valuable to any healthcare organization that wants an agency that can really understand what their issues are and how to approach doctors and nurses, because they're not the normal consumer. they're a very specific a group of very bright people who don't have a lot of time, and you just kind of have to hit their sweet spot to make that connection. So tell me something, is that one of your specialties that you go after?
It's not one of our specialties yet, but we definitely have a plan in place to start to approach hospital systems, because we have such an excellent program in place with many of the resources that could benefit them. And much of the information they may be unaware of, particularly regarding the digital world, because they're focused on patient care. And maybe they haven't really kept up with all of the opportunities that they have to improve the marketing of their services, because they do have services that they need to market to the community. So yes, it's something that we are definitely looking into and very interested in.
I think those are all very good points. I want to talk too about why you made the transition from web design to digital solutions. So how did that happen?
Now, that's a very interesting story, actually. It didn't happen because we were like, oh, let's do this. It really came from the needs of our customers. As we were building websites for them, they were like, okay, now what, right? How do we market it? How do we get leads? So it was a natural next step for us. I really enjoy marketing, and generating leads through websites is great. So what I decided to do was look again into taking more courses or classes. And that's when I stumbled upon HubSpot. And HubSpot has a great academy. Oh my goodness, the training is phenomenal. So that led us to becoming certified HubSpot partners, which means that we are certified to sell their products and services.
Tell us a little bit more about that. And I mean, I've heard of HubSpot, and I know that they have come up with software for customer relationship management and a number of other things. But what's the difference between them and, let's say, another customer relationship management system?
And literally, there are hundreds of CRM systems out there. What I discovered about HubSpot is they have figured out the formula to help businesses to keep from siloing everything. So usually marketing is here, sales is here, and service is here. But we really need to have those married together. How did the lead come in? Through the website? Okay, great. How did it get to this salesperson? How did it, travel over to the service department? So what the CRM in HubSpot allows companies to see is the whole picture of the client. What web page did they go to? What services? Did they download our ebook? So by looking at the client holistically, it is just amazing what that can do for a business. So you don't feel like you're just selling. You can actually target the client and meet them where they are. I think that's very important today.
I think what's also interesting about HubSpot is the emphasis on the customer relationship versus the transactional relationship.
Exactly.
And they really take a long-term view of developing those customers.
Yes.
Deborah, why don't you speak to that, the importance of doing that?
Yes.
I know you're an expert at it.
Well, thank you, Wendy. One of the ways that people always communicated with customers is, I have a product or service, you need this. So here you are, buy it. Well, that's hardcore selling. And it might have worked at one point, but we live in a different time. Consumers like to be in control. And Tracie and I, as a personal philosophy, appreciate the fact that we need to be able to identify the needs of the customer and meet those needs with the resources that we have. But HubSpot has the same philosophy. Their thought is to make sure that you go in and understand the needs of the customer and ask as many questions as you possibly can about their business, be very clear on what their needs are, and then make sure that they understand the resources that you have and how those resources can benefit them. And hopefully at the end of the day, they will make a decision, an informed decision about buying a product that's going to support their business and help them to be successful. So that's another big difference with HubSpot. And one of the other reasons that we decided to partner with them, because they have much the same philosophy as we have with communicating with customers.
That's true. And they really focus on inbound marketing. Wendy, I know you've become familiar with inbound marketing, which is driving leads or bringing customers to you, attracting customers to you. So as I can't even think of the word, we employ that philosophy. Our customers also employ that same philosophy.
And I think the reason that's so valuable, in fact, I know the reason that's so valuable, it costs money to get a customer. You have an investment in marketing or a special offer or whatever it is you've done to attract a customer. Where you really make money in that relationship is not the first sale, it's really the sales after that when they come back for more. And then what HubSpot has added is this third element, which is the customer recommending you to other customers who you don't have to go after at all. They again, to your point about inbound marketing, they're coming to you. So it's so, what I love about it is it's in keeping with the way people actually buy today, and it overcomes the resistance they have to marketing. So it's a tremendous program. It really is.
It really is too, because we've talked about this before, the difference between sales funnels and the flywheel, right? Our marketing funnels. A funnel is like this. So you're constantly driving leads in and hoping that customers come out. The only problem with this model is, you have to continually keep filling that. Whereas HubSpot has come up with or has created the flywheel, which is a circle, right? You attract a client, you engage them, you delight them, they tell others who are now attracted, engaged, and delighted. And it's a continuous motion of attracting, engaging, and delighting. And each customer can feel special in that flywheel approach versus, trying to stuff a funnel, constantly trying to find new leads. It just is a lot of work for a company, and it's expensive. It's cheaper to keep customers happy.
What HubSpot has done is to kind of translate that to the digital world.
Yes, absolutely.
And, so why don't you talk a little bit to that point about social media and really how that has replaced our conversation at the water cooler and over the back fence.
That's true.
Yeah, social media has given us a platform.
Mm-hmm.
I was never really big into social media. I always feel kind of dated saying that. I guess I shouldn't. But I don't post a lot of pictures and things on my own, but I really have come to appreciate the importance of social media for business, because you have something on your website that you want to share with others. An ideal way to do it is to post it on social media. And it's, say, a blog, and someone on social media decides, I really like this blog, and then they'll share it with other people. So if they have 100 followers, now our business has 100 additional followers if they decided to share what's been posted. So it's an ideal opportunity And I've heard it said how it's there for us to use it. It's free, and we have a lot of people that we can become connected to in a way that we never could before. So we love social media marketing. We use it in our business, and we want to help others do exactly the same thing for their businesses.
Absolutely. And I think too that what people lose sight of, social media isn't just Facebook and LinkedIn. I mean, it extends visually as well to Instagram and other platforms. What I love is YouTube, because I can't get over the fact you can do commercials and you don't have to pay media costs, and you can demonstrate products, and you have a whole range of things you can do, which are, again, don't cost you anything. All you need is imagination and the knowledge that hopefully an agency like Creative Idea, would help you with.
Absolutely. We would definitely do that, because video is king, right? We always ask our clients about their video usage. Many people just don't use it. Yes, I want to, or I should, but video is so very important on a website, on social media, in fact, email marketing. Videos and email get a 60% better open rate. Imagine that, if you have a video in your email. It's just amazing. So by helping clients understand how digital is running today, we can help them to improve their marketing and make sure that their dollars are invested wisely.
Why don't you describe how you work with a customer when someone hears about you or goes and sees your website and is attracted to the website and the company that it represents? What happens when they make that phone call, that first phone call?
Once we set up an appointment, our goal is to, again, get as much information from the potential client as we possibly can about their business. We want to understand their business. We want to understand their needs. And we tell them that from the very beginning. We help them to understand that we're going to be asking you a lot of questions. It's not because we're just nosy. It's because we really want to understand, and they're always very open to it because we explain it to them. By the time we finish that conversation, we have a very good idea about their needs. So for instance, if they come and they say that they need full assistance from branding to website to digital marketing and a strategic approach to their business, we have that in mind of how we can approach it. And once we capture all that information, then we go back, we have a meeting, and then we meet with the client again to explain to them exactly what the resources are that we have that we think can benefit them.
Right. And it's really a customized approach if you think about it that way, because we have a lot of services. We can be the entire marketing department for a company or a firm, but it just depends on what their needs are. So that's where the questions come in. Then when we go back, as Deborah said, then that our presentation to them is customized. Here's what you want, and here's what you need. Here's the solution. Here's your need. Here's the solution. Very important for us to do that versus just saying, we offer all these things. Which ones do you want? That's not the right way to sell in this day and age.
Yeah, I think one of the things too that helps to separate us is because we have a customized approach to working with our customers, that when we sit down with them, we have workshops. And if we are going to help to develop their brand, we have a workshop. We have examples for them to choose from. We spend time with them. We try to understand them. And at the end, when we walk away, they have made a decision about their brand that they might not, with a lot of different things, they might not have taken into consideration before sitting down with us. The same with the website. We have a design in mind, but we will meet with them, show them what the design is, and then get their input on what's going to be their personalized website. Because at the end of the day, we don't want them just to have a static website. You know, for many years, people got a website because everybody thought they should have one, not because they recognize the benefit of having the website. So by the time we work with them, help them to understand the benefit, the website is complete and it's actually being utilized to drive leads and to increase their business. And that's what people want.
Business is not the same as it used to be. And certainly COVID has sort of turned everything on its head. So we have to come up with new solutions, different solutions than we've done before, which is exactly what you did in making the transition from a web design company to a digital solution company. And I think that's important for people to understand. You've actually gone through that process and understand that and can help other people through it as well.
Because it matters whether you sell a product or a service. It doesn't matter. Are you reaching your target audience? Are you drawing in and attracting the right client? If you're not, then let's get that started. We need to figure out what their pain points are and draw them. Like we talked about earlier, that's just really important. And then you can engage with them, but you have to draw them first. So that's what we really focus on.
And we help them to understand, as Tracie mentioned, who their clients are. You know, it's interesting. Some companies don't really think about it that way. And they don't know who they should be trying to attract, because everyone is not going to be a great fit. And that's okay. But if we can help them to identify who their clients are and who they should be marketing to, that's a big part of being successful.
That's right. And, you know, we start with the buyer persona.
Exactly.
Who is the buyer? What does that person look like? You know, we'll create an image, if you will. You know, is it the CEO of a company? And what CEO? What's the company size? What are his likes? What are his dislikes? Buyer personas are overlooked. There are so many companies. In the large firms, you will see companies doing those, or departments. But even smaller companies and entrepreneurs need to know who their buyer is.
I think it's even especially more important for smaller companies because the whole thing with the buyer persona is, you know, that old statistic, 80% of your business comes from 20% of your base. So you've got to get customers that actually can pay you and that are going to give you repeat business. And, you know, it's not just a one shot in, out, and they're gone. You may have spent more money trying to attract them than they actually spent with you. So it's not a small thing. I think the way you function with your clients is not only to provide them with one service, which is marketing, but you also serve as partners in coaching them how to become more effective in whatever it is they're doing.
Absolutely. We help them build a strategy. So we're talking about an entire marketing strategy that flows over into sales. Because as we talked about before, marketing and sales don't talk, but they need to. It's very important to make sure that they can see the entire picture of the business. So yeah, marketing strategy is actually, we start there almost before we even talk about branding or anything else. What's the strategy?
You know, and to your point as well, even when I was in the pharmaceutical industry, I didn't want the customers that I was calling on to be uninformed about anything.
Right.
I wanted them to have all the information and knowledge that they needed about my product or the disease state. So providing information from thought leaders was really important to me in that industry. That is the same in this industry. I don't want the people that we work with, for instance, to call us up. And Tracie and I have had this conversation. They call us to say that they need a brochure, but we go to look at their website. It's not appealing. It's their colors aren't good. They don't have a social media presence. Right? We have not done a good job if we don't share with them the latest digital marketing information.
Right.
Once we share what we know and how it can benefit them, maybe they're not ready to buy. That's fine. We gave them the information, and hopefully, as time goes on, if they make a decision that, it's time for us to rebrand or rethink the way that we're doing business. Remember that company that called us and shared that information? Yeah, Creative Idea Digital Solutions. Hopefully.
That's really the whole HubSpot model of looking at the relationship between you and your clients, and not seeing it as a transactional one, but seeing it as a mutually beneficial one. And the
relationship.
That's where that comes in.
And it may not happen today, but even if it happens down the road, that will be fine. At least we've done our part in educating the market, which we agree is very, very important.
Very important.
One thing that I'm thinking is that when you do something like that, and you advise your clients to do something like that, even you still have to find a way to keep in touch with them, whether it's a phone call, whether it's an email, maybe it's social media that they're going to tune into, like you both are LinkedIn to LinkedIn and you post something on LinkedIn, but it's really even more important to keep physically in front of them.
Absolutely. With our clients, especially those who are on a retainer, we have that built in to meet with them either monthly or quarterly. It's just really important to meet with them and their team, right? To make sure that everybody's on the same page and that the strategy is working. There are times when we put together a marketing strategy and then you have to pivot. COVID is a perfect example, right? When companies had to pivot and change their entire strategy at the drop of a hat. Did they have someone in their corner to help them do that?
Yeah.
We hope so. But if not, we're there for our clients to make sure that happens.
Well, ladies, this has just been totally delightful. And thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I know our audience appreciates it as well. I hope you'll remember the lessons that you've learned from this conversation. And if you do need a website built or a marketing strategy developed, these are two people you definitely want to contact. Tracie Scyrus and Deborah Johnson of Creative Idea Digital Solutions. We're going to have to say goodbye. We are reaching 12:30. I want to, again, thank you and thank our audience, and to remind you that we are on every Monday from 12 to 12:30 at 216thenet.com. We're also on Facebook. Our page is Succeed in a Pandemic. And the name is a little different on Facebook, Succeed in a Pandemic. And you will find this show there on video. So I hope you'll tune into that, share it, like it. And again, please keep Creative Idea Digital Solutions in mind if you need any help with your marketing.
Thank you, Wendy.
It's
been a pleasure.
You're more than welcome. Thank you. And with that, I'll say goodbye and just remind you, if you haven't been vaccinated yet, vaccines, it is available. Please call your doctor, call your local county will know where you can get a vaccination. And please do it because it really is keeping us safe. And with that, take care, keep well, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.